Hello, and welcome back to Chapter by Chapter, King of Scars. Now, today, I had a little bit of a rough end to the week. I had a sick child. I had a lovely series of migraines from last night, so if things get a little weird today, no one may even notice, to be honest. Also, my dishwasher is running, so yay! But here we are. If you want to listen about Chapter 15, let's just jump in. So right away, I am screaming. Let's just recap about what happened in the last chapter. They got transported to some
freaky deaky place,
and they're being attacked. Yuri's super pumped about it.
What's new?
And Nikolai has seen a lot in his lifetime, but even this kind of puts all of that to shame. He can't even make sense of what's happening right now. Yuri's on his knees praying.
Not a surprise.
But Zoya's already on the defensive. She has her arms up, she's in her Grisha fighting stance. And that kind of snaps Nikolai out of
what is going on?
He has his revolvers drawn and ready. They're hearing this shrieking sound and they're in this creepy place. Nikolai's like, yeah, the Valkyra are definitely coming to get us. Or some shadow monsters, or maybe a new fresh hell the Darkling has brought for us just here today. Or maybe even the Darkling himself. But instead of anything Darkling related, what they end up seeing is a vast swarm of bees, possibly in the shape of a woman. And behind the swarm is something that they refer to as the grotesque. It's just this creature that's changing shape and form constantly. At one point it has 2 heads, then 3, then 1,000 arms, humped back, a twisted spine, human one moment, an animal the next. Oh, and there's also a dragon. And I'm a big fan of Game of Thrones, and honestly, I love dragons when I was little. Who didn't still love them now? But now it's just acceptable with Game of Thrones to be an adult and be like,
I love dragons.
So even though I am scared for them in this moment, I'm really excited about the dragon. Nikolai thinks he's hallucinating. To make sure that the moment is real, he looks at Zoya and he says, say something spiteful to me. Oh, Zoya can even come up with his, you're an idiot. And the situation's bad when Zoya can't even get out a good one-liner at Nikolai. They're still thinking that it's Zoya's power that somehow brought them to this freaky deaky place. Nikolai's like, hey, yeah, Anytime now that we can get out of here, Zoya, that'd be great. And she's like, don't you think if I could, I would? She's, busy using her power on the bees. And Nikolai's shooting at the grotesque, and this is having no effect on them at all. Then the dragon starts spewing fire at them, and Zoya makes this protective air bubble over them, but they can still feel the heat of the dragon's flame singeing their face. Finally, the grotesque commands,
lay down your weapon.
Yuri's still crying. He's saying,
you don't understand.
And Nikolai is like, yep, you're right. No idea what's happening. Buffy, what are you doing? So anyways, Buffy, please stop. While Yuri is crying, his favorite combination of things to do in life, Zoya and Nikolai, being who they are trying to form a plan of attack, a way to get out of this situation. Zoya thinks that she can use her power to move the skiff, that just Nikolai's going to have to be the one, doing all the whatever that is, using the ropes to move the sails, milking a cow, other things that people could do in Photoshop to me. I don't know. But when they try to do this, the boat just ends up getting tipped over into the sand and they're all like splatted on the sand. Things keep getting weirder and this huge army of sand soldiers just start. The world has it out for me to film today, but I'm getting it done. We're talking about this chapter. So, sand soldiers. They're faceless and they have these very elaborate old-timey Ravkan uniforms. And it seems like it's a show to be like, you guys are surrounded, you don't have a way out. Even Zoya gives up some hope at this point. She says, I don't know how to fight this. Is this the part where we all die well? Nikolai thinks that the only way out for them is for him to surrender. He's the king of Ravka. They're doing this really elaborate thing to kind of round them up and show them how powerless they are. So he's thinking, They don't want me dead. They probably just want me captured. So he surrenders himself. Then the dragon swoops in again, tries to blast them with their flame. But this time Zoya's prepared. She starts blasting the dragon, and they almost seemed evenly matched at this point. And then she takes the air from his lungs. Dragon is not happy about this. He fights back after he regains control of his breath, blasts them all with an even hotter blue flame. Not a copy, but Game of Thrones vibes for sure. Like, if you watch the show, are you picturing, like, I don't want to spoil anything, but are you picturing what I'm picturing? If you watched, you know. Zoya is fighting back really hard though. She's screaming. Nikolai can see the sweat going down her face. She's giving it everything she has. Nikolai again tries using his revolver, shooting at the dragon, but it's doing nothing. But at least he's trying. Like, Yuri's still there, just like... Even all of Zoya's strength doesn't really do anything though, and she ends up using a lot of her power. She starts to collapse, and Nikolai at least can run over to her in time to grab her. She is shaking from using so much of her power.
And
Something I did not expect happened. The dragon lands in front of them and starts talking to them. Though I'm surprised, I'm into this. I'm into talking dragons right now. Nikolai might not know what's going on, but this dragon knows all about Nikolai. He calls him the boy king, the war hero, the one with the demon curled inside him. Nikolai doesn't know if he's more surprised that the dragon can speak or that he knows all of Nikolai's deepest, darkest secrets. The dragon makes it very clear. If he wanted all of them dead at this point, they would have been. Nikolai's like, oh, is that how you guys say hello? In this freaky deaky place? But the dragon tells them that he just wanted to see what Zoya could do. But why? Why? This is all so crazy to me at this point. This book just took like a big left turn, and I'm loving it. Like, this is so different from what has been happening, but I'm really excited. After that little exchange between the dragon and Nikolai, Zoya screams out in pain and in anguish, and she's rummaging through the sand. Nikolai's not too sure what's happening. And then he realizes that she has the pieces of her amplifier in her hand. It is broken. It's in pieces. I feel like with what happens when you make an amplifier, that when your amplifier is broken or you're separated from it, it probably feels like a gigantic part of you just dies or is missing. Zoya's sobbing like,
oh no.
and the dragon's like,
Oh yes.
who is this dragon? Who does he think he is? And while this is happening, a woman emerges from the rows of soldiers. She's like, tells the dragon to stop it. She's clearly annoyed by him. I mean, I'm not liking his attitude at this point right now either, as cool as he is being a dragon. The woman has a dress that is blooming and dying roses and vines all around her body. Her hair is a mass of swarming bees. And when she's talking to the dragon, she calls him Juris. The dragon's annoyed that she's telling him to stop. He's like, this is the only fun we have in this place. We've been here for so long. And he calls her Elizaveta. Are you getting it? Are you getting what's happening here? Because I was reading this and just, oh my God, is this what is happening? Did not expect to see actual saints in the book at all. Dragon shifts into a man, and you know, the grotesque is there, and he's still like changing. Now he has all of these eyes on his body. Nikolai thinks it's to get a better look at them. Nikolai's asking who they are. Like, he has to know who they are, but he can't comprehend that's who they are. He answers, do people still not pray to saints? This dragon guy will get along well with everybody because he's just as cocky as the rest of the group. Yuri's still crying and being like,
At last.
and Elizaveta tells him, you know, come with us. We'll explain everything. Nikolai is still in shock. Like, we were just at this lady's statue. This is who everybody's been praying to. And he says out loud, you're the one that slew the dragon, to Juris. He responds, sometimes the stories are a little bit rough on the details. With his big ass smile on his face. And the chapter ends with Juris being like, come boy king, we need to talk. Yes, we do. We have to talk about a lot of things. What is going on? But like I said, I absolutely love where this chapter is taking us in the story. This is nothing that I expected, and it's bringing so much fantasy back into the novel, into this series, and I am here for it. Leigh Bardugo, you got a dragon into this story. That wasn't just a sea dragon, and I am thankful for it. Even though Juris seems like a bit of like an asshole, but you know, so did Nikolai and Zoya at the beginning of all this, so
We'll see.
but questions, other than the obvious, why did the dragon want to see what Zoya could do? Is this the fate and faith thing that Tamar was telling Nikolai about. How it's all starting to become one and they're playing into each other. They needed to talk to Nikolai and to Zoya, and it just so happened that they were separated from their group and that Zoya used her power to make this distraction to send them to Freaky Deaky Land. And I'm calling it Freaky Deaky Land until we figure out what's happening. I mean, Consciousness Castle is still good, but comment down below which one do you like best. Sorry, my fish is doing something weird.
Anyways, my house is a zoo.
I am really excited at this point to see what is going on. Is it not a coincidence that these three people, Zoya, Nikolai, and Yuri, were all together at the same time and brought to this place? Did each of the saints want one of them there for a reason? I'm really excited to see where this is going, like I have been with most of the book. Chapters are ending on places where I'm excited to read more, and that's my favorite part about reading. So what do you guys think? Do these saints have good intentions? Because it's Ravka, nothing's gonna end well. I cannot wait to figure out what's going on with you guys. I cannot wait to talk about the next couple of chapters. So I will see you next time on Chapter by Chapter, King of Scars.